Well, hi there. Cactus. Cacti. We're going to paint cactus and check out Arizona.
Do the intro in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome. So I had planned to go up to Mount Lemmon and paint this week, but the roads got closed because of heavy rain, and at higher elevations that means snow. So I had a request from someone following me on YouTube to do a Brusho painting of a cactus. And so that's what I did, and I hope you enjoy this. It's a really fun painting, and I'm doing some neat techniques in it. I want to thank everybody who has liked and subscribed. You're really helping this project get off the ground. And if you share this video with your friends, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you. It's how this whole thing works. And as long as you're giving me love, I'll keep pouring my heart out on these videos for you. Yeah, so I'm in Tucson, Arizona. It's gotten very cold here at night, which I wasn't really prepared for, but luckily Paintmobile has good heater, so I've been all nice and snuggly, safe and warm. We're going to look at some cactuses. Cactus are amazing people. They're one of the greatest nations on earth, and the variety is just amazing. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll show you around the neighborhood a little bit. Next week, I'm hoping to get up to Mount Lemmon, so I do have some footage. I was there earlier in the week, and I painted with a friend, Michael Detton, and he's from the Southern Arizona Watercolor Guild, and the painting unfortunately didn't film very well. It just, yeah, I'm just still paying my dues on learning how to do all this, but we'll get back up there as soon as I can. I do have some footage of Mount Lemmon though I'd like to share with you in this. And so I'm glad you're here, and I hope you keep coming back and hanging out. You make this all really fun and worthwhile. Alright? So likes and comments down below, please. I know you hear this so much, it probably doesn't sink in anymore, but like and subscribe, please. It would be, it's much appreciated. Alright, I'll see you guys. Bye. Alright, so going to paint some cactus fruits today. What a great image this is. And let me tell you a little bit about the paint that I'm using. It's called Brusho, and it's a crystal powdered watercolor. And it's an ink and dye based paint, water media. It's been around for about 40 years. It's new to the US. I think I'm one of the first artists to use it. And I got the nickname Mr. Brusho, which I'm very proud of. It's a wonderful product. And as you can see, I wet the paper first, and I sprinkled some Brusho into it. And then I waited till it was really, really dry, and I took a paper towel, and I think you saw me just kind of scrub off the extra particles. before I did the second part here, which is the background. So I put it in some water, and I'm just going to drop in some colors, and that's part of the big magic of watercolors, how it moves and it blends. And everyone says that watercolor is very difficult to do, and yes, it can be, but it also does things that are completely magical, and it makes the effort all worthwhile, especially when it's just organic like this. So I wanted that nice nebulous sky, and this is all just going to do, and I tell my students this all the time, the paint does all the work and we get all the credit. I just let the watercolor do what it does. So now that that's dry, it's time to add some color, and now I'm using tube paints. And these are American Journey paints from Cheap Joe's that I love. And so I'm going to drop in some greens. I like to mix my own greens. To get this olivey sort of color, I'm using a translucent orange. Actually, it's a schminky translucent orange. It's just a fabulous color. And I keep very few other paints in my palette besides the American Journey, and this is, I think, one of the only ones. Anyway, turquoise, Andrews turquoise, and that translucent orange makes a fabulous olive green. And you might have noticed there that I dipped my fingers in the water and kind of sprinkled water into the cactus, the prickly pear. I wanted to have some texture. Otherwise, this would look really flat. I also noticed too, I don't repaint a lot. I'm not lifting my brush up and putting it down a whole bunch when I'm doing those washes. I pretty much go over it once, let the pigment settle, and try not to disturb that beautiful tooth of the paper. It's what keeps the life in the painting. So adding some little dark spots there for the thorns, or the little prickly parts of the cactus. And now going in with Rose Madder Genuine and a little alizarin crimson to give the fruits their delicious red. Now I had a lot of friends when I posted this on Facebook that said that these look like strawberries at first, which is kind of funny because I thought so too. And just by adding some ultramarine, some dark ultramarine there, gives the little bumps on the fruits, but again, not over painted. And the trick is, to keep things from looking too static, is to know what your moisture is doing. So here I'm going to go in with some shadows, and now it's time to put in some darks. This is where things start to turn corners and get three-dimensional looking. And I mix up a good amount of dark too, so that it all matches. So it's ultramarine blue with some burnt sienna, and I did mix a little bit of Janet's Rose, some violet, some purple into this, just because I wanted that kind of bluey shadow, because the fruits were so warm. I thought it needed some coolness into the shadows. And this is where we're going to give it depth. I thought this needed a little separation here, so I'm going in with a little bit of dark, but not too much. I didn't want to detract from the fruits. They're the star of the show. They're the actors on the stage. So I'm keeping the surrounding cactus very, not anonymous, but just not overbearing. And this is kind of fun. I'm painting left-handed. It's a neat skill to have. It's a good one to practice too. There's just times when you want to lose that line to the left instead of to the right. And you can turn your paper upside down, but I think learning to paint left-handed is like having a superpower, and it's just fun to do, just to challenge yourself. So give it a try. So here, going in and putting the little dimples in and using some darks. I sprayed water all over the page again with my hands, just flicked a bunch of water before I started doing this, so I would have wet spots and dry spots to paint into, just to give it, again, that looseness, just kind of fool the eye. You can't recreate nature. It's too completely exhaustive. Well, I guess maybe there are people that do, but I could never spend that kind of time. I want the viewer to be able to fill in part of the image with their own imagination. That's why I love to paint loose. And there's some finishing details now, going around and putting some darks around the rim to give some dimension to the tops of the fruits, and some darks, of course, signing my name. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Well, I hope you had a good time. Thanks for joining me today. I am teaching national workshops, and the information is available on my website, artofward.com. If you have a group or organization that would like to have a demonstration, I am traveling around the country and making friends, so please feel free to contact me. Most importantly of all, keep painting and enjoy it. There is no there in life, only here. So if you're in the moment and you have that brush in your hand and you're painting and the world slips away, then you've won. It never gets any better than that, my friends. All right, see you next week. Peace.